Hello there, Stevos, and welcome along to my Let's Talk video. In this video, I'm going to be discussing some of the key notes to take away from this year's Apple WWDC event, which took place in Cupertino, California, on Monday the 10th of June 2024. So the event took place around 10 AM Pacific time over there in America. That's 6 PM here in the UK. And of course I did follow along to see what Apple have got up their sleeves for this year's operating system updates to their iPhone, to their Macs, MacBooks, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and of course their brand new Apple Vision Pro as well. And Apple Vision Pro is actually something that I wanted to start off this video by talking about, because earlier this year in the US, Apple did release the Apple Vision Pro product in US markets. They have now confirmed that the markets for the Apple Vision Pro product is going to be expanding outside of the US now, and it's going to be going to places like Hong Kong, China, Japan, and Singapore, and consumers over in those territories will be able to get their hands on the Apple Vision Pro on June 28th, 2024, so at the very end of this month, at the time of recording this video. And then, of course, later on, a couple of weeks later, the UK, France, Germany, and Australia are going to be getting the Apple Vision Pro product in the palm of their hands, or maybe on their heads, where the Vision Pro actually goes. And the Apple Vision Pro is going to be available to pre-order on June 28th when it does come out in China, Japan, Singapore, and Hong Kong. So it's going to be available to pre-order for us here in the UK, in Australia, Germany, France, and Canada as well. And it's going to be releasing in those territories on July 12th. Now, thankfully, I managed to do this video one day after, literally 24 hours after the Apple event's keynote took place, because what I was very curious about was the fact that I was kind of curious to see exactly how much here in the UK the Apple Vision Pro device will cost. And we have actually now got those figures coming in. So here in the UK, you can pre-order the Apple Vision Pro from the 28th of June from 1 PM. I'm assuming that's UK time. And of course, it will be available from the 12th of July 2024. Now, the pricing is going to be very eye-watering. So if you have got savings, and you've got a lot of savings, and you've been thinking about getting yourself an Apple Vision Pro headset for a while, then make sure you have got a lot of money saved up. That's all I'm going to say, because the pricing does start from a very eye-watering £3,499. So it is a very, very expensive headset. I can confirm to you guys right now that I'm not looking into getting the Apple Vision Pro headset. I know that not so long ago I did get the iPad Pro and I did get the MacBook Air as well. But in terms of the Apple Vision Pro though, I just don't think that I could literally just go out of my way, even if I had that money, just go out of my way to spend nearly basically £3,500 on a tech product which you literally wear over your face. You know, I mean, I know that during the Apple event, they did say that there are more and more apps coming to Vision OS every day. but from my understanding anyway, I do believe that in terms of Apple Vision Pro, the only main app that I would be interested in having on there and being able to do is probably Disney Plus. And I know that obviously you can, like, you know, you can transform, like, your living room, your bedroom, and all of that into a cinema using this Apple Vision Pro headset, which is great, and all, but I mean, genuinely, if I wanted to transform my living room or my bedroom into a home cinema, rather than paying £3,499 for an Apple Vision Pro product, I would literally just rather go out and buy a projector, you know, which I have seen the pricing on projectors in the past. You know, like the Samsung Freestyle, for example, is a little over £500. There's some projectors that are further up the pricing range, which are around £1,000, £1,500, something like that. You know, so for me to go out of my way to buy an Apple Vision Pro just to wear it on my head and turn my living room or my bedroom into a home cinema, I just don't think it would really warrant for that price, really. But yeah, anyway. So, of course, like I did say, it starts at £3,499. But that's only when you get the 256GB of storage. You've then got the 512GB of storage, which will cost you an extra £200, so that's £3,699. And then, of course, you've got the 1TB storage space as well, which, again, is going to cost you £400 extra, which is £3,899. So you've got 256GB for £3,499, 512GB for £3,699, and then the 1TB storage space, which is £3,899. But on top of that, though, of course, you're gonna want Apple Care with the Apple Vision Pro as well, no doubt, because I mean, for a piece of tech that is that expensive, I mean, to anyone out there that is thinking of buying an Apple Vision Pro here in the UK, in Germany, France, Canada, Hong Kong, Singapore, China, Japan, I would definitely recommend getting Apple Care for this device because it is really, really expensive. And I know that it's going to cost you even more to get Apple Care as well as the device itself, but I would just recommend getting Apple Care. You know, so on the Apple website, which I'm looking at right now, actually, the Apple Care Plus coverage for your new Apple Vision Pro, which does protect your Apple Vision Pro, by the way, is to buy Apple Care Plus outright, it's £499. So I mean, if you were to get the Apple Vision Pro with 1TB, which is £3,899, and then get Apple Care Plus on top of that, I mean, you're paying around about £4,299, you know, which is remarkably extortionate. But there we go. But yeah, anyway, so, I mean, but yeah, so you can either buy Apple Care Plus outright for £499, or you can pay it monthly, which is £24.99 a month. So it is completely down to you. So obviously you get unlimited repairs for accidental damage protection, Apple certified service and support, express replacement service, so they'll ship you a replacement so you don't have to wait for a repair, 24/7 priority access to Apple experts as well, and it includes insurance, premium tax at the applicable rate as well. So there we go. So yeah, so that is the Apple Vision Pro, okay? So not only did Apple announce that Vision OS 2, which is the next big update for the Apple Vision Pro product, is coming to Apple Vision Pro later this year, but they also announced an expansion in terms of the market as well as to where the Apple Vision Pro is going next. What's really funny about it is, and I'm going to move on to the Apple keynote itself in just a few moments, but what's really funny is that apparently Tim Cook did say during the Apple keynote on Monday this week, he did say that loads of people from around the world have been asking when they can get their hands on the Apple Vision Pro. But I'm kind of there thinking to myself, well, if people have been seeing the pricing in the US for this product, and trust me, it costs loads more than probably a beefed up MacBook Air or a beefed up iPad Pro, maybe around the same lines as a very beefed up MacBook Pro, maybe, but, you know, I mean, if a lot of people have seen the pricing on those product for the Apple Vision Pro in the US, that would put, I mean, it put me off straight away from buying the Apple Vision Pro. The Apple Vision Pro is a great product, don't get me wrong, but I do think that the pricing is just absolutely extortionate, and there are loads of headsets out there which, yes, admittedly, can't do or can do the same thing as what the Vision Pro does, but the Vision Pro can do it slightly better, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't think many other headsets out there that you see, like AR or VR headsets out there that you see, does have like camera sensors or so many camera sensors that can make you see what's going on around the space that you're in, whilst also having virtual reality around you as well, you know. So yeah, it's a very interesting take. But anyway, so if you think that you guys are going to be seeing an unboxing anytime soon on this YouTube channel of me unboxing the Apple Vision Pro, then think again, because that's not going to be happening anytime soon. Unless Apple would love to sponsor me, then of course, yeah, feel free to send me over an Apple Vision Pro. I would love to try one out, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think if I was to try one out, I think the best way to do it is go into an Apple store. I wouldn't buy one, I just want to try it. So, you know, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. If I do get to try an Apple Vision Pro out at some point, it'd be great. I'll give you my thoughts on it in a later video, and like my experience of it. I mean, obviously I can't really show you guys how it looks because it's virtual reality, so unfortunately I can't do anything about that. But what I can do though is I can tell you my thoughts and experiences on the Vision Pro if I ever do get to try it out. But anyway, so there we go. That's the pricing for the UK. Of course, if you do live in Canada, in Australia, Japan, China, Singapore, Hong Kong and stuff, you can go onto your Apple website right now. Obviously pre-orders aren't available here in the UK right now, so if you are looking at this before June 28th, then you're going to see that all the pricing and stuff has been greyed out for now. But obviously Apple have given us kind of a look in advance as to how much this Apple Vision Pro is going to cost us here in the UK, and it'll be the same in Canada and Australia and stuff, okay? But like I said, pre-orders, I do believe for Singapore, China, Japan, all of that are available now, but pre-orders for Canada, Germany, France, and the UK are going to be coming up on June 28th. So let me now go over to what Apple have announced at the keynote. So let me start with Vision OS 2 actually, because Vision OS 2, I mean, obviously, like I said earlier in this video, you know, Apple are bringing loads and loads of apps that are from the iPhone, the iPad, and I think even from the MacBook and iMac as well, over to Vision OS, which is great news for consumers who can actually afford this device out there. But also as well, not only that, but when you, for example, if I was to wear an Apple Vision Pro headset and then look down at my iMac screen or my MacBook Air screen, the Vision Pro is very, very awesome because what it can do is it can basically take your screen away from your MacBook or your iMac and then put it in iView so that you can look up and see exactly in a big box what is on your iMac screen or your MacBook screen. Now, that's actually going to be getting extensions when it comes to Vision OS 2, because right now you can only extend the screen in virtual reality in so far. But what they are planning to do is they're planning for you to extend that screen even further to the point where basically your iMac screen or your MacBook screen is basically all around you. And again, it is in 4K resolution as well, which again is really good news. Now, of course, another thing that did come up during Vision OS originally was the fact that, you know, you could transform your plane, for example, into a home cinema and stuff like that. Now, with Vision OS 2, they're actually bringing that little update, or that little feature, shall we say, so that you're able to do that on trains as well. I'm going to be very surprised. I mean, now that I'm starting to get out and about and I'm starting to use the trains a little bit more often, you know, when I go and see like a couple of my mates or I see my girlfriend and stuff like that, I'm going to be very surprised if I see in the next couple of months there are a couple of people on the train wearing these Vision Pro headsets and they're watching like a movie whilst on the moving train. That would literally blow my mind. And I'll probably vlog it as well, you know, because, hey, I'll vlog my reaction. I'll just vlog them with their headsets on. Yeah, you know. So anyway, so there we go. So yeah, those are some of the key features that we are expected to see in Vision OS 2 when it does arrive on Apple Vision Pro later this year. I should expect we'll see that around autumn time. But let's go into some of the other bits and pieces that Apple did announce that's got nothing to do with Apple Vision Pro. Of course, they did talk a little bit about Apple TV Plus as well. There is actually an Apple TV original movie that's actually coming out in UK cinemas next month in July, called Fly Me to the Moon. I have actually seen it listed on Apple TV at the moment because I do get 3 months free of Apple TV Plus because I purchased an iPad recently. So it is listed on Apple TV Plus. It will be coming soon to Apple TV Plus, and they did list that under their slate of originals that are coming soon. But we are also getting brand new series of Severance as well. Dark Matter is coming soon as well. Palm Royale, that's recently been announced with a Season 2 renewal as well. So there is quite a few Apple TV Plus originals that you guys can expect to see coming really, really soon to the streaming service. So again, if you're not yet subscribed to Apple TV Plus, I mean, here in the UK, it is £8.99 a month. Or if, like me, you've recently got yourself a new Apple product like the iPad, then you do get 3 months for free. So basically, I won't be paying for Apple TV Plus until September this year. So there we go. So yeah, so they did announce that, which is great. And I do believe as well that they have actually come quite, they've come at the top basically in terms of rankings for streaming services over the last couple of years, and I do believe like things like Netflix and stuff have been at the under them, and Disney Plus as well has been under them. So yeah, so it's going to be very interesting to see how Apple TV continue to continue to succeed with all these streaming markets out there as well. So, and of course, we have had Apple TV originals hit cinemas in the past. For example, Argyle, I did see that film earlier this year. Obviously, we've had Napoleon and Killers of the Flower Moon, two movies which I actually haven't seen in cinemas, but I may actually watch a little bit later down the line. They are on Apple TV Plus right now, so those are movies that I will get round to watching at some point really, really soon. But anyway, so yeah, so Apple did touch a little bit on Apple TV Plus, the success of Apple TV Plus, and what subscribers out there can expect to see over the next couple of months on that streaming service as well, which is great. I'm glad that they have actually got some new episodes of some people's favourite TV shows that are coming out very soon and every week as well. So there is a couple of TV shows that I do actually want to check out for myself. Is it Ted Lasso or Ted Lasso? I do want to give that one a go. Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, I want to give that one a go. Invasion, For All Mankind, Dark Matter, Trying. Yeah, there's a couple of TV shows that I do want to check out whilst I've got my Apple TV Plus subscription. So, and of course, maybe in a future video, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about those shows and movies as well as and when I watch them. So let's go on to the key announcements from the Apple WWDC event. Now, for those that don't know what Apple WWDC is, it's basically an annual event that takes place every year in June. And it basically happens across the space of 1 week, in theory, because obviously loads of app developers, some are starting out new, some of them are professional app developers. They all come together, they watch this keynote, whether it's in Cupertino in California, or it's on the Apple website, or on the Apple's YouTube channel, etc, etc. They come together, they see what new updates are coming to Apple's technology, and based on those updates, they can then go off and they can basically just do some tweaking, shall we say, to their apps that us users out there use on a day-to-day basis. Not only that, but it also gives us, the public, the users out there, a little insight into what we can expect from Apple when they update their products a little bit later on this year. It does also kind of give us a little bit of an insight, as sometimes it can give us a little bit of an insight into what Apple might be doing next with their iPhone, for example, or their MacBook, or their iPad, and stuff like that. So again, very interesting to see that, you know, that Apple do this on an annual basis, really. So let's have a look, shall we, at some of the things that are going to be coming to your Apple devices, whether it's the iMac, MacBook, iPad, iPhone, Apple Watch, any of those devices. We'll see. Let's have a look. Let's have a bit of an insight into what's coming up on those devices a little bit later on this year. First of all, I do want to talk about the AI functionality. So, announced Apple Intelligence. So, rather than it being called artificial intelligence, Apple are calling it Apple Intelligence. A slew of generative AI-powered features within native applications as part of the latest operating systems for iPhones, Macs, and iPads. Siri can now retrieve information from messages, emails, calendars, and photos, as well as third-party apps to answer a wider range of queries and accomplish tasks. Users can also interact via text as well. ChatGPT integration. Apple is incorporating the technology so that its systems can better understand images and documents, and for users to compose and edit text messages. Most AI processes will run on the device, while more complex tasks will be handled by Apple servers under a new offering called Private Cloud Compute. It will use its own server chips to help power AI features on all its devices. Apple Intelligence will be available on iPhone 15 Pro Max and iPad and Mac with M1 and later, a little bit later on this year, when that does get updated, of course, when this operating systems does get updated. Now let's have a look at the operating systems. So iOS 18 for iPhone offers the ability to arrange apps and widgets in any open space on the home screen, customize the lock screen and control center, which gets media playback controls. macOS Sequoia, which is the new operating system that Mac has adapted for this year. macOS Sequoia offers iPhone mirroring, which allows the phone screen to be viewed and interacted with on Mac computers. Now, this for me is a functionality that I don't think I'll be using anytime soon, because yes, I do have an iMac, yes, I do have a MacBook Air as well, but no, I don't have an iPhone. So therefore, I have seen the demo of how it's done. I mean, literally, you can mirror your iPhone from your MacBook Air or your iMac, and your iPhone could still be in lock screen mode, which means you don't even have to lift a finger, you don't even have to touch your iPhone or anything like that. You can literally mirror your iPhone on your MacBook or your iMac, which I think is a really, really awesome kind of feature. But this is, again, like I said, it's not going to be a feature that I'm going to be using, unfortunately, because I'm not an iPhone user. I can't see me going back to iPhone anytime soon unless Apple really do pull something out of the bag later this year when they announce their iPhone 16 models. You know, they'll have to bring in some really cool features for me to actually go, you know what, yeah, I'm going to revert back to Apple's iPhone range. So it's bye-bye Samsung, I guess. But, you know, but for now, though, I do think it, you know, me personally, I do think it is a really, really cool feature to have, really. With iPad OS 18, Apple's tablet finally gets a calculator app with additional capabilities. Now, this is really interesting because I always thought, really, you know, if you've got the calculator app on your iPhone, why don't you have it on an iPad? You know, I mean, to be honest with you, obviously on my Samsung phone, I've got the calculator app. On my Galaxy S7 Plus tablet, I've got the calculator app as well. It's just, you know, it's just one of those everyday kind of things that people would need. And, you know, with so many people, like, working from an iPad and also as well, it's very interesting because, like, the iMac and the MacBook Air as well, and the MacBook Pro, I mean, they've got the calculator app as well. I mean, I'm not too sure about the Apple Watch. It's been a while since I last wore an Apple Watch. But, you know, even if the Apple Watch did have a calculator app, it's really interesting to see that the iPad is the only Apple device, really, that doesn't have a calculator app. So it is actually really, really, it's a welcoming feature, but I'm really surprised that it's taken Apple this long to bring in the calculator app when we've had iPads for years and years and years now. So there we go. But Math Notes calculator allows users to type or write out mathematical expressions and see them instantly solved in their own handwriting. Smart Script features make handwritten notes more legible. WatchOS 11 gets Vitals app, which shows important health metrics at a glance, and a training mode to better show how workouts impact the user's body. Announced Vision OS 2 with improved gesture controls and spatial photos as well. That's the other thing that was also announced during Vision OS 2 as well, is improved gestures and also as well some spatial photos as well, which makes your photos stand out in virtual reality or augmented reality. There is some application updates as well. So messages can now be sent via satellite for the times when cellular, trying to get that word out, and Wi-Fi connections aren't available. Mail app can now automatically sort emails into personal, marketing and transactional. Safari gets a highlight feature that can surface key information about a web page, such as bring up the location of a restaurant or listen to an artist track right from an article. In notes and phone apps, users can now record, transcribe and summarize audio. Announce new image generation tool, Image Playground, which by the way looks really cool. I definitely do think that Image Playground might be something that I might use on my iPad when iPadOS 18 does become available to the public later this year. Improved search in Photos app, and announced a new ability to find specific moments in video clips. And also as well, I'll talk about Gemmoji as well, because again, Gemmoji is a brand new feature that is actually going to be coming to iPhones and iOS 18. I'm not really too sure about iPadOS 18 or anything like that, but for the time being, I do know that it is coming to iOS 18. It is basically where users who have got an iPhone that will be able to update their iPhones to iOS 18 later this year will be able to basically create an emoji using AI. So for example, I don't know, if you wanted, say, a crocodile emoji, but except the crocodile was on a surfing board, for example, you could easily make that emoji possible with the use of AI as well. There is also some really cool text features as well that are going to be coming soon as well to iOS. And again, it's with the use of AI as well. And I think it is to do with Image Playground as well, where you can make your your emojis and your text messages, your images and stuff stand out as well with like some AI sketch of, like, for example, a dinner party happening on a rooftop. You know, and stuff like that. So with like a sunset coming down, I think that was one of the examples that they used during the keynote yesterday, Monday the 10th of June 2024. But yeah, so there we go. So that is pretty much a little summary basically of what's going to be coming to your MacBook, your iMac, your Vision Pro, your iPad, your iPhone and your Apple Watch as well over the course of the next couple of months. Of course, beta versions of those apps for developers are available from now. The beta will be open for the public to download in July, I believe. And for those of you that don't do the public beta testings or anything like that, then of course you will be able to download iPadOS 18, iOS 18, watchOS 11, visionOS 2 and macOS Sequoia. You'll be able to download those updates in the autumn, which usually is around late September, beginning of October, when the brand new iPhones and other Apple hardware have been announced and been released as well. So there we go. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys found this video very informative. I did give my views and opinions on some of the things that have been announced as well, because again, I did think it was quite important that I did get my point and my views across as well about my thoughts on some of the Apple announcements as well. And if you have enjoyed this video, then please feel free to hit that like button. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Do you guys know exactly, you know, outside of this video, do you guys know exactly what's going to be coming to iOS 18, iPadOS 18 and macOS Sequoia? And if so, what are your favourite features that are going to be coming up in the upcoming updates feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you are new around here and you like what you see, then feel free to hit that subscribe button to become a Stevo. I will be back for you again on Friday this week when I'll be doing my unboxing video for my iPad Pro M4 13-inch device. But from me for now though, it's goodbye. Thank you for watching. And before I do go, actually, I will confirm something now. A little bit later on this year, when iPad OS 18 and Mac OS Sequoia do get released, of course, I will do a separate video on both of them, where I do show the update process, and I will show you guys what's new on iPad OS and Mac OS Sequoia as well. So that's going to be coming up a little bit later on in the year, okay? So stay tuned for that if so. If that does whet your appetite, or that's something that you're interested in seeing, that is a video that I will definitely do for you guys. But until the next video though, it's goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again in my next YouTube video.